Hey, everybody. Here we are with Lawrence Roberts, Executive Director and Franchise Owner of 25 BNI Chapters. Lawrence, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you, Paul?
Excellent. Thank you. Listen, thanks so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate this. I've been, drumming on the BNI bandwagon for so long that I thought it would be great if we can get you in here just to talk a little bit about, you know, BNI, the benefits. What is BNI? So maybe we'll start with that and just say, Lawrence, tell me a little bit about what BNI is.
Definitely. Well, a good place to start is what BNI actually stands for. I say BNI about a bazillion times a day, and I often forget that people don't know what it means. It actually stands for Business Network International. So what we are is we are a global organization of business professionals, sales professionals, passing referrals to one another, supporting one another, and really bridging the gaps between communities, cities, countries, nation, all over the world. And so we have about 290,000 members worldwide. And so what we do is we are a global network, and what we do is we build local chapters. And so within those local chapters, what we do is we help business professionals, we teach, train, mentor, support, do whatever we can to help those professionals to grow their business in a support network that is BNI. And so we grow our business through referrals, we grow our business through collaboration, through peer-to-peer ideas, sharing and mentoring, and just really helping one another to be a bigger impact and to accomplish more in our lives and in our business.
That's awesome. That's probably the best explanation of BNI that I've ever heard. Well done. Thank you.
Yeah, I've practiced it. It's something that I talk about quite a bit. So yeah, I get a chance to share. And it's interesting because and jump in if you need to, but it's interesting. I find that BNI is a little bit hard to explain to people unless you see it in real life. Yeah, and like I've been working with BNI now for a while, and I swear I'm pretty sure my mother-in-law still doesn't understand exactly what I do, because if you're a business professional, if you're a sales professional, you know that you have to always be on the hustle to finding new clients all the time. You always have to be on the phone, out in the community, networking. You have to be having advertising and all these different things to help you. But when you wrap your head around the idea of having an entire team to help you with that process, you have a whole support system out there. It's sometimes hard for somebody who's never been in, especially for someone that works like a 9 to 5, salary type of job. They don't understand what that hustle is. They don't understand that, money doesn't just come in normally just because you do your job. You could work for months and months and not get paid anything. So when you have the opportunity to get involved with a support system, to get involved with additional training and mentoring and some accountability to kick your butt every now and then, it's really powerful, and it's hard to understand unless you see it. If you go to visit a BNI meeting and see what it looks like in real life.
Yeah, and that's easier done now because of these Zoom sessions that are happening. We're seeing a lot of visitors come to our BNI North Bay Nipissing chapter to sit in and just see what's going on, see what it's all about. So definitely Zoom has made it easier, but I can't wait till we get back into the in-person meetings where really that's where you can form some great relationships and great business bonds. So tell me, you're coming from Saskatchewan. You own a handful of maybe 8 or so franchises out in Saskatchewan, and you're new to Ontario. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So a lot of people ask me, why Ontario? Why are you making this big change and taking over this region in Ontario? It really comes down to, I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite thing to do. I used to be a BNI member in Alberta. I owned a roofing company, and with that roofing company, I wanted to grow. And so I joined a BNI chapter there, got a lot of referrals, really liked it, kind of fell in love with the system. And so when I started to figure out that I liked BNI way more than I liked roofing, I decided I needed to make this my career. We always hear about finding your passion, doing what you love. And for once in my life, I finally figured that this is something that I could do. And I was volunteering to help. I was volunteering to lead. I was volunteering. And eventually I was like, man, I got to figure out a way to make a living doing this. because I was doing it for
Awesome.
free. And I absolutely would if somehow magically all my mortgage and bills and all that stuff was paid. But unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way. So the only way to make BNI a career, to make any money getting paid for this kind of thing is to buy a franchise. So that's what took me from Alberta to Saskatchewan. And when I got there, there was only one chapter, and we've now grown it over the last 3 years to 8 chapters. We're passing about $3.5 million worth of referred business every year, and I felt like I had a capacity to do more. I didn't feel like I was maxed out. I honestly didn't even feel like I was doing a lot. It was just, I liked it, and any chance I had, I would try to do more. But then I heard that there was an opportunity to work to get involved with an additional region. And so I thought to myself, is that something I could do? I talked to my wife, and she actually was just like, I think you should. Like, you really love what you do. We had won franchise of the year back-to-back times in Saskatchewan.
Awesome.
So we were doing a lot of great things here. Membership was all that. And so I thought, man, if I had that ability to take the greatness that we were doing here and apply it in another region, I think we could do amazing things. And so the opportunity was there to work with the Ontario Central North region, so your region. The previous franchise owner was retiring from BNI, and so I started the conversation. And so when people ask me, well, why Ontario? Well, because BNI franchises don't come available for sale very often. Your franchise owner had been there for 12 years.
Wow.
The franchise owner in the region just south of you has been there for 22 years. So it's like they don't come available very often. So when one came, I couldn't let one pass it by. I knew that there was amazing people out there. I knew that what we were doing, it could impact a lot of businesses, a lot of lives, and jumped in with both feet. So even though I'm the franchise owner here in Saskatchewan and I live here, we just took over Ontario Central North in the summer, and now we will be moving to Ontario
Nice.
as soon as as soon as COVID really allows us to get over there,
Yeah.
and make that move. And so we came to Ontario because of BNI. And BNI has changed our lives, not only because, I grew our business and that's our life and everything, but the connections, the people that I get to meet, the learning that I get to do. I mean, I was a roofer 4 years ago, right? And now I'm doing national trainings and global appearance, like just all kinds of things. So it's really been awesome.
That's great. So listen, I speak to a lot of people, a lot of business owners about BNI, and the only point that I ever get back to me is, it's an hour and a half a week, 90 minutes a week. And I'm like, yeah, that's the part where you get to meet with your marketing team. That's the part where you get to work on your business as opposed to in your business. But what do you say to a business owner that says, Lawrence, I'd love to join, but that 90 minutes, what do I say? How do you handle that?
Agree with them. Business professionals are the busiest people on the planet, I would say, right? We're trying to juggle so many things at the same time. And so when people come and say, I just don't have time for that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is a challenge. Absolutely. And hard to carve out that time out of your life. But what I find that BNI members do, and what people start to realize, is that BNI doesn't have to be a separate thing that you add on to your plate. BNI is something that you should incorporate with what you do every day. When you think of a business, you think of operations, you think of sales, cash flow, accounting, you think of hiring, firing, all that kind of stuff. Those are all part of what a business is. You don't think of, now I have to go do sales, or, now I got to go do operate. That's all part of what we got to do, right? That's a business as a whole. And BNI can be one of those cogs in that. And so instead of saying, 90 minutes, how am I going to get to that? Think of, great, I have an opportunity now to work on my marketing part of my business, or I have an opportunity, or this is the time where I've decided to focus on growing my business, or this is the time where I have to collaborate with other business professionals to hopefully make my business better. Right. So, or when we think about, now I have to try to find referrals for people and all that stuff. Well, Actually, if you just go about your regular business doing what you would normally do, and maybe just put in a question here or start to identify a situation that could help there, now you're doing the regular things that you're doing, but you're also providing a little bit of support and a little bit of help for other people that you are in a chapter with. Plus, what you think of with our business, everybody's businesses, we have to be meeting new people. We have to be connecting with new people. In BNI, you go and you're meeting with these professionals. There's usually 1 or 2 or 3 visitors there every week. So now you spend 90 minutes and now you're meeting new people. You're opening up more referral opportunities. You're building more sales. I actually took a bunch of professional coaching courses, and they say if you're not spending 50% of your time on marketing as well as 50% of your time on operations, your business will never expand to where you need it to be self-sustaining and to grow on its own. And so some of that needs to be allocated to meeting new people, connecting with new people, learning how to do your job better, supporting one another. And that's going to come back to you. So BNI doesn't have to be this thing that hopefully you have time for someday. It's something that you need to incorporate into your business, and then it's going to help flourish and grow every other aspect of what you're doing.
Love it. Love it. And coming from a father of 5, I'm a father of 3. You're a father of 5 daughters. Is that somehow you managed to fit all this in?
Yeah, and that's actually one of my goals, is to live a balanced life, to be able to work and put my heart and soul into what I do, but also to be there for my family, to vacation, to spend some time in my religion and my church, and then to also hopefully have some time to do what I like to do, ride motorcycles, play video games, like stuff like that.
That's awesome. So our local chapter is BNI North Bay Nipissing chapter, and it's flourishing because of leadership from yourself and all the great team members that we have. So we really appreciate everything you've done for our group. I know our goal is to get to 30 members in 20. So we have 3 weeks left. We're only, I think, 4 new members away from that goal. I know we'll get it because 2021 is our target is 40. And right now we've got some incredible business owners around the table that are doing some very big numbers with the referrals. So I just want to thank you for everything you're doing for us. I know we just recently met, but I'm loving what I see so far from your leadership and the direction you're taking our group. So I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you. I won't take much of that credit, though. You guys were on a really good path before I came. And so I'd say I'm more supporting what you guys are doing. And so congratulations to you. And a lot of it has to do with your energy. You know, when you're meeting with a group, another meeting, and it's boring and everybody's all blah, blah, blah. But that's not the experience with you guys. You come to a North Bay chapter meeting and it refreshes you. It supercharges you. Like, you come away from that thinking you could change the world because of the energy that you guys have in the room and seeing the relationships of everybody getting along, working together. I think that's where the magic is. So you guys are doing that on your own, and I just get to kind of fan the flame a little bit here and there. Good job, everybody.
Well, I tell you, our president, our current president, Paul Meyers, is doing an incredible job. She's backed by Vice President Leanne Atkinson Miners, and then there's Tara Butno, who's secretary. These ladies are doing an incredible job. They keep the energy up in the room, and they're bringing an enormous amount of visitors to the table. And then these visitors see the potential and they start to join. So I love BNI. I've been in now for 2.5 years. We brought this chapter to North Bay because there was no chapter here previously. And if you're a business owner and you're trying to grow, then inside BNI will give you that opportunity with referrals, with training, coaching, mentorship, and every once in a while, a swift kick in the backside just to get you motivated. So that's awesome. Listen, Lawrence, thank you so much for hopping on. I greatly appreciate your time. And we'll see you hopefully soon in person.
That'd be great. I'd love to. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye now.